There are 10 personality types of men. Which one are you? Ever wonder what kind of man you really are? Or maybe you've thought about the different men you've met throughout your life. Some strong and decisive, others more thoughtful and reserved. Well, the truth is, there are 10 types of men in this world, and each one carries a unique set of traits that define how they think, act, and relate to the world around them. Today, I'm going to walk you through these 10 personality types and help you discover which one resonates with you the most. But here's the thing, these types aren't about labeling you or confining you to a box. They're about giving you insight into who you are and helping you recognize the strengths and weaknesses that shape your life. In the process, we'll also touch on some powerful lessons that can help you grow, evolve, and become the best version of yourself. Maybe you've been wondering why you act a certain way in certain situations. Or perhaps you're at a point in life where you're trying to better understand your motivations, your relationships, or even your own purpose. Well, understanding your personality type is a step toward that self-awareness. It's like having a roadmap to better navigate your life's journey. As we dive into these types, remember that none of us are just one thing. You might see pieces of yourself in each type, and that's okay. These types are more like tools for reflection, allowing you to understand your natural tendencies and, more importantly, how you can evolve beyond them. From the confident leader who steps up in any situation to the free-spirited adventurer who thrives on new experiences, there's a personality type for every man, and it's time to see where you fit. As we go through these types, take a moment to reflect on which one speaks to you the most. And more than that, think about how you can use what you learned today to grow and become a more complete version of yourself. Let's dive in and see which type of man you really are. Ready? Let's begin. Type 1. The leader. All right, let's start with the first type, the leader. Now, this is the kind of man who seems to naturally step into the role of a decision maker. You probably know someone like this, or maybe you are someone like this. Leaders are confident, ambitious, and full of drive. They don't shy away from challenges, and when things get tough, they're the ones who rise to the occasion. People look to them for guidance, direction, and sometimes even inspiration. If you're a leader, you have that strong presence about you, that ability to take charge of a situation and make things happen. Whether it's at work, in your personal life, or in a group setting, you often find yourself taking the lead. And honestly, it's not always by choice. It's just the way you're wired. You see things others don't, and you act on them with confidence. But here's the thing. With all that power and vision comes responsibility. Sometimes leaders can become so focused on the end goal, on achieving success, that they forget about the people around them. You might become impatient with others who don't move at the same speed or who don't see the bigger picture. You could also feel burdened by the weight of making decisions, especially when those decisions affect others. The truth is, leadership isn't just about being in control. It's about inspiring others to follow and empowering them to rise up with you. Leadership means listening as much as you speak, understanding that you don't have all the answers, and creating space for others to shine. If you're a leader, take a moment to ask yourself, how can I help others grow? How can I make sure that my decisions are serving not just my interests, but the interests of those around me? Leaders can be lonely sometimes, and they may struggle with finding a balance between their vision and the reality of working with a team. But if you can learn to trust those around you, to empower them, and to acknowledge when you need help, your leadership will not only transform your life, but will inspire others to step into their own greatness. Think of leaders in history, like Nelson Mandela or Martin Luther King Jr. These men weren't just strong in their vision. They were humble, compassionate, and always looking out for the greater good. If you're a leader, remember that your true power lies in your ability to bring others with you, not in the control you have over them. Lead with empathy, and the world will follow. So, take a moment. Reflect. Are you the kind of man who naturally steps into leadership roles? Are you someone who feels a sense of responsibility to make things better, whether for yourself or others? If so, you might just be the leader type. And remember, leadership is about constant growth. Never stop learning, adapting, and empowering those around you. Type 2. The protector. Now, let's talk about the protector. If you're someone who feels a deep responsibility to care for others, whether it's your family, friends, or even strangers, this personality type may resonate with you. Protectors are the ones who go above and beyond to ensure the safety and well-being of those they love. They have an innate sense of loyalty and will do whatever it takes to shield others from harm, whether that's physical, emotional, or even financial. If you're a protector, you're probably the person everyone turns to when they need support. You're the rock for others, the one who's always there to listen, to give advice, or to lend a hand. You take pride in being dependable and reliable, and there's a sense of fulfillment that comes from knowing you've helped someone when they needed it most. But here's the challenge for protectors. Sometimes, you put the needs of others above your own. You can be so focused on caring for others that you forget to take care of yourself. You might neglect your own well-being, whether it's emotionally, mentally, or physically, just to make sure everyone else is okay. It's like being a firefighter, constantly putting out other people's flames without ever tending to your own fire. And eventually, that can burn you out. So the lesson for protectors is simple. Don't forget to protect yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup, and you're no good to anyone if you're not taking care of your own needs. It's okay to say no sometimes, to set boundaries, and to prioritize your own well-being. You don't have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. Some of the most inspiring protectors in history are those who've dedicated their lives to caring for others. Think about people like Mother Teresa or firefighters who risk their lives to save others. Their strength lies not just in what they do for others, but in their deep sense of compassion and their unshakable commitment to making the world a better place. But even they knew the importance of self-care. If you're a protector, remember that taking care of yourself is an essential part of taking care of others. You're only as strong as your own foundation. The more you nourish yourself, physically, mentally, and emotionally, the more you'll be able to give to those who need you. Take a moment to think about your own life. Are you someone who feels a deep sense of responsibility for others? Do you find yourself always stepping in to help, even when it comes at the expense of your own needs? If you are, then you might just be the protector type. Embrace your ability to care for others, but don't forget that you deserve the same care and attention. The best protectors are those who know that helping others starts with helping themselves first. Type 3, the visionary. Let's dive into the third type, the visionary. If you're the kind of man who's always thinking about the future, who's constantly dreaming up big ideas and plans, then you might just be a visionary. Visionaries are creative, forward-thinking, and often see possibilities that others can't even imagine. Their minds are always in motion, and they thrive on thinking outside the box, breaking down boundaries, and pushing the limits of what's possible. If you're a visionary, you're probably always working on your next big project, always looking for ways to innovate, to create something new. Maybe you're someone who's drawn to entrepreneurship, or perhaps you have a passion for solving problems in a way that nobody else has thought of before. Your imagination and your ability to dream big are some of your greatest strengths. But here's the challenge for visionaries. Sometimes, all that creativity and forward thinking can lead to a disconnect with reality. You might get so caught up in your dreams and ideas that you forget about the practical steps needed to bring those dreams to life. It's easy for visionaries to get lost in the excitement of possibilities, but without solid execution, those big ideas can remain just that, ideas. So, the key for visionaries is learning how to balance creativity with practicality. You need to ground your dreams in action. It's not enough to just think of the next big thing. You need to be able to break it down, plan it, and execute it. A visionary who learns how to bring their ideas to life is someone who can truly change the world. Think of famous visionaries like Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, or even inventors like Thomas Edison. These are men who saw a future that others couldn't even dream of, and they didn't stop until they made that future a reality. They were not only dreamers but doers. And that's the real lesson for visionaries. It's great to dream big, but don't forget to roll up your sleeves and get to work. If you're a visionary, take a moment to reflect. How often do you find yourself lost in your ideas? Are you able to take the next step and turn those ideas into something tangible? If you're not, maybe it's time to focus on building a framework to make those dreams a reality. Remember, a dream without action is just a dream. It's the work you put into it that makes it something more. The world needs visionaries to push boundaries, to dream of what's possible, and to inspire others to do the same. But remember, your true potential lies in your ability to make those dreams real. Stay grounded, stay focused, and the sky is the limit. Type 4. The Rebel Now. Let's talk about the rebel. If you're someone who doesn't like to follow the crowd, who always questions authority, and who feels a deep need to challenge the status quo, then you might be the rebel type. Rebels are independent, strong-willed, and often seen as outsiders in a world that loves conformity. They're not afraid to stand up for what they believe in, even when it's unpopular or difficult. If you're a rebel, you probably don't fit in easily with traditional structures. Maybe you've always felt like you were a little different, like you didn't quite belong in the boxes that society tries to put people in. You might feel a deep sense of dissatisfaction with the way things are, and you're always looking for ways to challenge the system, break down barriers, and create something new. But here's the challenge for rebels. Sometimes, your resistance to authority can become your greatest obstacle. Being so focused on rebellion can cause you to alienate yourself from others, and you might struggle to collaborate or compromise. You could also find it difficult to work within systems that require structure and order. So, the lesson for rebels is to recognize that not all authority is bad, and not every rule is meant to be broken. There are times when working within the system can lead to greater change than trying to tear it all down. Being a rebel is about standing up for what's right, but it's also about knowing when to pick your battles. You don't have to fight every fight, and you don't have to do it alone. Take a look at people like Mahatma Gandhi or Rosa Parks. These are rebels who didn't just fight against the system for the sake of it. They fought for justice, for equality, and for a world that was better for everyone. Their rebellion wasn't about chaos or destruction. It was about creating something better. Their strength came from their ability to challenge authority in a way that was meaningful, thoughtful, and driven by a deeper sense of purpose. If you're a rebel, think about your approach to challenges. Are you fighting for something meaningful, or are you just rebelling for the sake of rebellion? Is your resistance based on a desire for change, or is it causing you to lose connections and opportunities? Remember, rebels can spark major transformations, but only when they channel their energy into something that serves a greater good. You're a force to be reckoned with, but it's important to ask yourself, how can I make my rebellion more impactful? How can I challenge the system without losing myself in the process? Being a rebel means thinking differently, but it also means understanding when to unite with others to create a real change. Type 5. The Provider. Now let's talk about the provider. If you're the kind of man who is always thinking about how to take care of others, how to ensure that those around you are well provided for, whether it's financially, emotionally, or in any other way, then you might just be the provider type. Providers are dependable, reliable, and grounded. They're often the ones who take on the responsibility of making sure everything runs smoothly, from paying the bills to taking care of the people they love. If you're a provider, you're probably someone who finds fulfillment in your ability to support others. You take pride in your work and in your ability to make life easier for those you care about. You're the person people turn to when they need help, and you're always ready to lend a hand, no questions asked. There's a sense of duty and loyalty that drives you, and you're always thinking about how you can do more for others. But here's the challenge for providers. Sometimes, you can become so focused on taking care of everyone else that you forget to take care of yourself. It's easy to get caught up in the endless cycle of providing, always putting others' needs before your own. You might feel pressure to be the one who fixes things, the one who has it all together. But that can lead to burnout, stress, and feelings of resentment if you're not careful. The lesson for providers is simple. You can't pour from an empty cup. If you don't take time to care for yourself, physically, emotionally, and mentally, you won't be able to give your best to others. It's okay to take a step back, to take time for yourself, and to ask for help when you need it. You're no less of a provider for recognizing that you need a break or that you can't do it all alone. Think of the most inspiring providers in your life. Maybe it's a father, a mentor, or someone who's always there when you need them. These are the people who understand that their strength lies in their ability to be present for others, but they also know that true strength comes from taking care of themselves. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up, being reliable, and doing your best while also acknowledging that you need balance. If you're a provider, ask yourself, how often do I put my own needs last? How can I better balance my responsibilities with taking care of myself? Remember, being a provider doesn't mean sacrificing your own well-being. In fact, the more you take care of yourself, the better you'll be at taking care of those around you. Type 6, the intellectual. Next, we have the intellectual. If you're someone who thrives on knowledge, who loves to learn and think deeply about the world, then you might be an intellectual. Intellectuals are thinkers. They're curious about how things work, why things happen, and what the deeper meaning behind it all is. They're analytical, thoughtful, and enjoy exploring complex ideas and theories. If you're an intellectual, you probably enjoy reading, researching, and having deep conversations that challenge your thinking. You're someone who seeks understanding and values knowledge. Whether it's in your career, personal life, or hobbies, you're always looking to expand your mind and deepen your understanding of the world. You find comfort in logic, reason, and problem solving. For you, the process of thinking things through is just as important as the answers themselves. But here's the challenge for intellectuals. Sometimes, you can get so caught up in your thoughts that you become detached from your emotions and from the world around you. It's easy to get lost in the pursuit of knowledge, to become so focused on understanding everything that you forget to live in the moment. You might even struggle with taking action because you feel the need to know everything before making a move. The lesson for intellectuals is to remember that knowledge alone isn't enough. It's important to balance your thirst for understanding with practical action. You can think about something endlessly, but until you apply that knowledge, it's just theory. You also need to stay connected to your emotions and to the people around you. Emotional intelligence is just as important as intellectual intelligence, and it's vital to develop both. Some of the world's greatest thinkers, like Albert Einstein, or philosophers like Socrates, were able to balance deep intellectual thought with practical action. They knew that knowledge was only valuable if it led to meaningful change or understanding. And that's the challenge for you as an intellectual. Take your thoughts and ideas, but learn how to apply them in real life. Don't just think, act. If you're an intellectual, ask yourself, am I using my knowledge to better my life and the lives of others? Or am I getting so caught up in the details that I'm missing out on opportunities to make a difference? Remember, the value of your intellect lies in how you use it, not just in how much you know. Use your thoughts to shape the world, but don't forget to live in it too. Type 7, the adventurer. And now, let's talk about the adventurer. If you're someone who thrives on new experiences, who feels most alive when you're exploring uncharted territory, trying new things, and stepping outside your comfort zone, then you might just be the adventurer type. Adventurers are full of energy, curiosity, and an innate desire for freedom. They're the ones who embrace change, who crave excitement, and who are always looking for the next adventure. If you're an adventurer, you probably find routine to be stifling. You're not the type of man to sit still for too long. You need movement, you need variety, and you need to feel that rush of excitement. You're the one who says yes to new opportunities without hesitation. Whether it's traveling to a new place, trying a new activity, or meeting new people, life for you is about exploring, experiencing, and discovering. But here's the challenge for adventurers. Sometimes, the thrill of the new can make it difficult to stay grounded. You might jump from one adventure to the next without ever taking the time to reflect on what you've learned or experienced. The constant need for excitement can lead to restlessness, and you may struggle with committing to long-term goals or relationships. It's easy to get caught up in the chase for the next big thing, but you might miss out on the deeper meaning and fulfillment that comes from sticking with something long enough to truly see it through. The lesson for adventurers is about balance. Yes, the excitement and freedom that come with exploring are vital to who you are, but true fulfillment often comes from finding purpose in the journey, not just the next destination. Adventure is amazing, but sometimes, the greatest adventure is in the quiet moments, in the relationships you build, and in the things you've already experienced. It's about slowing down, reflecting, and embracing the journey as much as the destination. Look at people like Christopher Columbus or modern-day explorers. These are individuals who sought out new frontiers, but they also learned that the most valuable experiences come from how they interacted with the world around them. The adventurer spirit is about curiosity and discovery, but it's also about understanding that not every journey is meant to be rushed. If you're an adventurer, think about your own life. Do you find yourself constantly jumping from one thing to the next, chasing the next rush, without fully experiencing what's in front of you? How can you take what you've learned from each adventure and use it to grow, not just in the moment, but for the long term? The key is learning how to balance your love for exploration with the wisdom gained from reflection. You're a force of energy, excitement, and change. But remember, not every adventure has to be external. The most powerful adventures can happen within you, in the ways you evolve, grow, and connect with others. Take the time to reflect, to find deeper meaning in your experiences, and to be present in the journey. Adventure is a beautiful thing, but true fulfillment comes when you learn to savor each moment and find richness in every step of the path. Type 8, the protector. Let's now turn to the protector. If you're the kind of man who instinctively feels a strong sense of duty to defend and care for those around you, whether it's your family, friends, or even people in your community, then you might identify with the protector personality. Protectors are strong, protective, and driven by a deep sense of responsibility. They are the ones who stand up for others, who are always ready to lend a hand when someone is in need, and who take pride in being a pillar of support. If you're a protector, you probably feel most fulfilled when you're in a position where you can safeguard or help others. Whether that's protecting your loved ones from harm, defending a cause you believe in, or ensuring that those in your care feel safe and secure, you derive great satisfaction from knowing you've made a positive impact on someone's life. Protectors are often leaders in their families or communities, guiding others and looking out for their well-being. But here's the challenge for protectors. Sometimes, your strong sense of duty can lead to stress and burnout. When you take on too much responsibility, you might find yourself stretched thin, unable to give your best to everyone and everything you care about. Protectors can sometimes feel overwhelmed by the weight of their protective instincts, and it's easy to neglect their own needs in the process. There's only so much you can do for others before you start to lose sight of your own well-being. The lesson for protectors is this: it's important to protect yourself too. You can't be strong for others if you're not strong yourself. Don't be afraid to set boundaries, to take time for self-care, and to recognize when you need support. You're allowed to ask for help, and you don't have to carry the burden of the world on your shoulders. True strength lies not in constantly sacrificing yourself for others, but in knowing when to step back, recharge, and give yourself the care and attention you deserve. Take a look at some of the most iconic protectors in history. People like firefighters, police officers, or even parents who devote their lives to their children's safety. Their strength comes not just from their ability to protect, but from their resilience and their understanding that they too need support in order to give their best. If you're a protector, don't forget to put your own oxygen mask on first before helping others. Reflect on your life. Do you find yourself constantly putting others' needs before your own? How can you protect your own energy and well-being while still being there for others? Remember, you can be a strong protector without losing yourself in the process. It's okay to take a step back when needed, and to ensure that you are also nurturing your own emotional and physical health. You can't be an effective protector if you're burnt out. Take care of yourself first, and you'll be able to protect others even better. Type 9, the Harmonizer. Now, let's talk about the Harmonizer. If you're the kind of man who seeks peace, balance, and harmony in all aspects of life, you might identify with the Harmonizer personality. Harmonizers are calm, gentle, and nurturing. They have a natural ability to create a peaceful environment, bringing people together and helping to smooth over conflicts. If you're a Harmonizer, you probably feel most comfortable when there's peace and understanding in your relationships, and you work hard to maintain a sense of balance in your personal and professional life. If you're a Harmonizer, you may be someone who avoids conflict, preferring instead to find compromise and agreement. You have an innate ability to empathize with others and understand their perspectives, which makes you a great mediator in times of tension. You want everyone to feel heard, seen, and valued. For you, the greatest joy comes from seeing people get along, finding common ground, and working together in harmony. But here's the challenge for Harmonizers. Sometimes, your desire for peace can lead to avoiding difficult conversations or suppressing your own needs and feelings. You might put others' desires ahead of your own, and in doing so, you risk losing sight of what truly matters to you. The fear of conflict can cause you to keep the peace at all costs, even if it means sacrificing your own happiness or well-being. The lesson for Harmonizers is this: it's okay to rock the boat sometimes. Conflict is a natural part of life, and it's often necessary for growth. You don't have to avoid tough conversations or suppress your feelings to maintain peace. In fact, by addressing issues head-on and being honest about your needs, you're creating more genuine and lasting harmony in your relationships. It's important to find a balance between keeping the peace and being true to yourself. Think of great mediators in history, people who worked tirelessly to bring about peace and understanding, like Mahatma Gandhi, or even modern-day peacemakers. They knew that true harmony doesn't come from avoiding conflict, but from addressing it with compassion and respect. If you're a Harmonizer, remember that you don't have to be afraid of disagreement. Instead, see it as an opportunity to create a deeper understanding and connection with those around you. If you're a Harmonizer, reflect on your life. Do you avoid conflict at all costs? Are there times when you've kept quiet about something that really bothered you? How can you learn to express your feelings and needs in a way that promotes true peace, without losing sight of your own voice? You have the ability to bring people together, but true harmony begins with being honest with yourself. Type 10, the Achiever. Now let's move on to the final type, the Achiever. If you're a man who is driven by success, constantly striving to meet goals and achieve excellence, then you might resonate with the Achiever personality. Achievers are motivated, goal-oriented, and focused on reaching the highest level of success in whatever they do. Whether it's in their career, personal life, or any project they undertake, they are committed to excellence and pushing themselves to be the best version of themselves. If you're an achiever, you probably get a sense of pride and fulfillment from your accomplishments. You work hard, stay disciplined, and are always looking for ways to improve. For you, success isn't just a goal. It's a way of life. You have a strong desire to prove your worth, both to yourself and to others, and you're always chasing the next milestone or achievement. But here's the challenge for achievers. Sometimes, the drive for success can become all-consuming. You may find that your worth becomes tied to your accomplishments, and when you fall short or experience failure, it can be difficult to deal with. You might struggle with perfectionism, and that relentless pursuit of success can lead to stress, burnout, and even feelings of emptiness if you're not careful. You may even neglect your relationships or personal well-being in the pursuit of achievement. The lesson for achievers is this: success is important, but it's not everything. Your value doesn't lie in what you accomplish or how others perceive you. True fulfillment comes from within. It's about finding joy in the journey, not just the destination. Learning to appreciate your progress, not just the outcome, can bring you more peace and satisfaction than chasing after the next big goal. Think of the great achievers of history, people like Thomas Edison or Serena Williams. These are individuals who didn't just work hard. They worked smart, they embraced their failures, and they understood that their worth wasn't solely defined by what they achieved. They found balance between ambition and self-acceptance, and that's the real key to long-term success. If you're an achiever, reflect on your life. Do you find that your sense of worth is tied too closely to your accomplishments? How can you shift your focus from success to inner fulfillment? Remember, your value isn't in how much you achieve. It's in who you are and the impact you have on the world around you. Conclusion. So, as we've explored these 10 personality types, I hope you've gained some valuable insights into who you are and how you relate to the world around you. From the ambitious and confident leader to the free-spirited adventurer, each type carries its own strengths, challenges, and life lessons. But here's the thing: none of us are defined by just one personality type. Instead, we all carry a combination of these traits, and over time, they evolve as we grow and experience life. Understanding your personality type isn't about putting yourself into a box. It's about gaining clarity on what drives you, what motivates you, and where you might need to focus on growth. Knowing your strengths can help you leverage them to succeed, while recognizing your weaknesses can be the first step toward overcoming them. These types aren't static. They're simply tools to better understand yourself, so you can navigate life with more purpose, intention, and self-awareness. Take a moment to reflect on the types we've discussed. Which one resonated most with you? Were there parts of several types that you saw in yourself? That's the beauty of personality types. They're not rigid labels, but rather lenses that allow you to see yourself more clearly. And the best part is, you can always evolve. Maybe today you see yourself as a leader, but in a few years, you may find that you've developed a stronger protector side. Or perhaps you're more of an adventurer right now, but with time, you'll learn to embrace a bit more of the Harmonizer's peaceful nature. Life is about growth, change, and discovering new aspects of who we are. So, don't be afraid to dive deep into your personality. The more you understand yourself, the more you can navigate the world in a way that aligns with your true values. Embrace your strengths and work on your weaknesses. And remember, this journey of self-discovery isn't about perfection. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, step by step. Final thoughts. As you walk away from this, I encourage you to reflect on these 10 personality types. Ask yourself, how do I show up in the world? What can I learn from the types I resonate with most? And how can I use that understanding to improve my relationships, my career, and my personal growth? The truth is, none of us have it all figured out. We're all on a journey of discovery, constantly learning about ourselves and the world around us. And that's okay. Embrace your unique qualities, and don't be afraid to challenge yourself to grow beyond what you think you are right now. The greatest gift you can give yourself is the ability to be self-aware and open to change. Your personality is a tool that can help you navigate the ups and downs of life. Whether you're a natural-born leader or a free-spirited adventurer, each of these types has something valuable to offer. So, as you continue on your journey, remember that you don't have to fit neatly into just one category. You are a complex and evolving individual, capable of growth, change, and greatness. Take this opportunity to look at your life through a new lens. Reflect on your personal experiences, your strengths, and the areas where you can improve. And most importantly, embrace who you are, because that is where the real power lies. You've got the potential to be the best version of yourself, no matter which personality type you identify with. So go out there, learn from what you've discovered, and use it to fuel your personal growth and success. The world is waiting for the best version of you to show up. And remember, the journey doesn't end here. Keep evolving, keep growing, and keep embracing all the parts of you that make you unique.